Ever since I was a young kid, I had this odd obsession towards penguins. Every time I was assigned to draw or come up with some type of storytelling during my elementary years, I would always choose penguins. The simplicity and the uniqueness of these animals is what drew me in. But then again, who wouldn't be one bit interested towards these beautiful creatures? Some species of penguins are able to identify their lifelong partner among all them identical looking like penguins. The male emperor penguin can go up to 2 whole months without eating as it nurtures and cares for their egg. A high sacrifice that not many animals would be able to do or can do. But what is most interestingly is that they are classified to be birds, but yet they don't fly. Today, I will be mainly focusing on penguin flippers and how they have become a highly significant adaptation towards their changing environments. The first thing I would like for you guys to know is the basic understanding of penguin evolution. I will point out it is a theory, and there is a lot more theories and a lot of perspectives. But this is the one for me that was backed up with the most factual data. Penguins are believed to be derived from a bird who was once able to fly about 65 million years ago. Because of drastic changes that occurred in the environment over time, the first penguins were able to adapt to water environments. As structural changes for diving and swimming were favored by the environment, it led to loss of flying adaptations. According to an article by Dan Stepka, a researcher associated with the Department of Paleontology of Northern California Museum of Natural Science, some of the earliest penguins were believed to have been as tall as humans. Flipper fossils that have been recovered almost 100 years ago provide evidence for this phenomenon. As you can see in this picture, this would be a today penguin fossil of the flipper, and this is what was recovered 100 years ago. What's believed to be one of the species of penguins. The full body of this penguin here has not been recovered yet, but recently researchers have completed a full body of what is believed to be the tallest penguin so far, which is 4 feet and 2 inches. And in this picture you can see is what is believed to be the tallest penguin, which is also what I showed you before. This one, and this is the emperor penguin, which is the tallest penguin that lives right now. And this is the smallest penguin, the blue penguin. Although the cause of the giant penguin extinction is uncertain, according to Edwin Fordyce, a professor of geology of New Zealand University of Otago, 3 main events may have occurred. It could have been from climate change, the arrival of new predators, the increased competition for food from seals and other creatures. This event may have also been responsible for the extinction of over 40 species of penguins. Today we are left with 17 species of penguins. They vary from height and their environment, but penguins are known for being fastest seabirds to swim in water, and mainly thanks to their flippers, which were once wings. Now that we know flippers became penguins and gave penguins an advantage to the changing environment, we can explore the anatomy of the flippers and why penguins are not able to fly. Flying birds have extremely light bones, tubular and hollow, which decreases the weight of the bird, necessary for good flying. Flying has its limits. The more weight, the harder the flight will be, so the limit for a possible flight lays around 15 kilograms or 33 pounds. Gibbs's average weight is around 20 pounds. The emperor penguin can weigh more than 75 pounds, and the smallest penguin species can weigh only 2 pounds, but its body is still too heavy for the small little flippers that it has, not allowing it to fly. The reason for this is the bones of the penguin's flippers aren't filled with air, nor are they light. Instead, they are heavy filled with marrow. As you can see in this picture, this is the wing of a goose, and this is the flipper of a penguin. And basically it's the same structure, so the femur is right there, and then there's two bones right here. But you can tell the penguin flippers is more solid and therefore heavier and not allowing the penguin to fly. Alright. Although flippers are useless in flying, which is the main advantage to many other birds, penguins utilize the flippers in many other ways. Unable to fly to obtain food and migrate during harsh weather, penguins have adapted other features in order to survive. The main advantage of having flippers is that they are excellent swimmers. Kevin J. Coley, an evolutionary biologist at the University of Nottingham, states the following: penguins have denser and stronger bones than most other birds. This is a considerable advantage when it comes to swimming and diving, allowing them to dive deeper and not to be held back by too much buoyancy in the water, meaning the force that the water puts in an object. This allows them to get greater food resources than no other flying bird would be able to obtain. Under the water, the emperor penguin can swim up to 50 miles per hour, almost as fast as a bottlenose dolphin, while the fastest penguin species can swim up to 25 miles per hour. Today, I'm talked about how penguins have descended from flying birds, and because of environmental changes, they had to acquire other adaptations in order to survive. One of the many adaptations was their flippers. They were once wings, but because over time the structural bone changed, it became heavier and stiffer. It no longer served flying purpose, but instead for swimming. Penguins are not only excellent swimmers, but as you can see, they have a very unique history and many facts yet to be discovered. Thank you.
Howdy, what did you think?
I thought she had interesting facts. The slides were fun, and she was good at explaining the slides. I think she should have had better notes, like more handy, so it could be made easier for her to explain. She should have had more eye contact and use of space. Like, I don't know, walk around a little more, not be in the same spot. But it was good.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned some of the delivery issues every once in a while, and those are going to be important, much more important on the next assignment. We want everybody to do a good job on all of their speeches, but that wasn't really what we were focusing on right here. So I would kind of agree with those comments about the delivery. They're probably good suggestions. On the technical issues that we are focusing on, I thought you had a really solid attention device, a very clear statement of what your goal or your purpose was in the speech. What I didn't hear was a preview of what the contents of the speech was going to be. Now, internally, you had a very solid set of transitions. It was easy to follow, plus sometimes you use the visuals to give you a reminder of what the next point was that you're talking about. And one of the things that I may have mentioned to other people before, if not, this will be fresh for you, is sometimes at the end of a speech, a summary can kind of rescue the organizational structure, because even though you didn't lay it out at the beginning and we're having to piece it together while we're going through the speech, when you get to the end and you kind of remind us and summarize what the content was, then everything fits together really well, and I thought that's what you did well, that really fixed that little problem that you had at the beginning, and okay, now I can see how everything goes together and fits together pretty well, and I like that a lot. I thought you were very consistent about citing sources during the presentation and giving us good quotes, also interspersing some bits and pieces of facts throughout places to make things interesting. Sometimes the delivery, I think, could be, like we talked about, a little bit more engaging and joyous, and so that we were reminded. I mean, at the beginning of the speech, you're telling us, hey, this is what I'm really interested in. This has always been something that's fascinated me. I really like that. And there are just bits and pieces of information that could have been presented with that sort of enthusiasm that I think would have sold the speech a little bit more. You're doing some reading. The notes are a little complicated sometimes, and there's a lot of detail. I mean, you're trying to get the quotes right. I don't have any problem with it.